Today I'm going to be talking about our 10 favorite meal in a jars that we go to all the time for a quick and simple meal. They're hearty, they're homemade, they're shelf stable, and they're made for real life. Plus, if you stick around to the end, I have a bonus for you there. So we'll be right back. Hello and welcome to Plan and Preserve. I'm Brenda. I'm so glad you're with us today, and welcome to our cozy kitchen. Our first jar is our red beans and rice, or red beans with rice. I just made these the first time the other day, and oh my gosh, they are so fabulous. We love these. The recipe was made with a little bit of smoked ham hock that I cooked, and then a pack of breakfast Jimmy Dean sausage. And this is truly a meal in a jar. In fact, there's a couple meals in this jar, but we'll be talking about this. So this jar, I had been wanting to do it for a while, and I finally bit the bullet and did a big dry bean marathon canning, which I'll try to link the video here of that one, or in the description, where I did this. And oh my gosh, it was so yummy. Now, these beans cost me $2.65 a quart. That is, and this is at least 2 meals with rice. That's pretty cheap, $1.30 something. Well, let's round it to 2 with rice, and if you added some more meat or whatever. But you're looking at $2 a meal for 2 people. That's pretty inexpensive for a quick meal. I don't think you can get a Big Mac for that price. So we really like these. We serve them over, like I said, we serve them over rice. I'll fix a side of cornbread. And then if you're really into some Louisiana stuff, you can put some hot sauce on it. It's just rich and hearty and under 10 minutes. Well, if you have par cooked rice, probably, but I have a rice cooker, and in 20 minutes, you have a meal. By the time you got in your car and probably went somewhere, your dinner would be good. So not only that, it's the time it takes you to go get something, the cost of not going and getting something is a big time and money saver. So if I did anything different with this, I might add a little bit of liquid smoke for some depth to it. Just a little bit. I know when I did my baked beans, I wanted a little bit more liquid smoke in them. I was a little afraid of how much smoky they would be, as we can't tolerate a lot of liquid smoke. But I would try a little bit of liquid smoke. I think that would make it a lot better. All right, next up is Salisbury Steak. Now, this is the first time I made this. Again, it was on my project canning wish list that I wanted to eventually get to. And I need to do a video on how I plan my my canning projects, because I'm a nerd and like to plan. But these turned out so amazing. They are so tender. The patties are just tender. They're not dry. They're just very tender, very flavorful. Now, how we use these is I'll pour off the liquid to add cornstarch slurry to it, and then I will add sometimes, well, most of the time. I've only ate about 3 jars of this so far, so I usually have to add a little bit more broth. We'll talk about the broth in a minute. but I add a little bit more, I make a little bit more beef broth with that Better Than Bouillon beef base, roasted beef base. And then while I'm getting that ready, the patties are kind of heating in the pan. And then once I get all that done, I put in the liquid, the broth and cornstarch, and I'll just warm that up. While that's warming and cooking, I've already got either a pot in my rice cooker, which I'll put a link here because or I'll show a picture of it. It was gifted to me by my sister-in-law, and oh my gosh, I didn't think I would use it that much because I was a pretty good rice cooker. I could cook a perfect pot of rice, which I learned in home ec in high school. So anyway, I just use it because I can put it over there and forget about it, and I have a perfect pot of rice every time I'm making a meal. So while that's cooking, else if we use mashed potatoes, I'll use my mashed potatoes in a jar, or because we're talking quick meals here. I don't have to peel potatoes or cut them or anything like that. I just have to dump my jar, heat it up. Once that's heat, drain the juice, mash them up in the pot, add a little bit of butter, a little bit of cream, milk, and you're ready to go. Quick meal. I used the McCormick Grill Mates as a seasoning in it, and I just dumped, I used a 10-pound tube, and I put about, I don't know, I probably would say 3 to 4 tablespoons. I would put more seasoning next time. It's not bad, but I just would put more seasoning next time. Now this jar, so it's the first time I did this, and as you can see, my hamburger patty was above this 1-inch rim. I tried to squeeze them in here. I had some siphoning, but they still sealed, so I will eat these as quickly as I can because I don't know how long the seal will last since I had siphoning. But as you can see, here's some of the fat and the liquid. Now this is still good even though it's above the liquid. But next time I will do this in a quart wide mouth, not a 1.5 pints. Because I always having to make extra broth to go with it. I will also mash my patties further down, mash them thinner. So I measured these at 4 ounces. I'd probably go with about a 3-ounce patty next time. Just because this actually, there's 5 patties in here. I was going to go for 6, but this is plenty. This makes 2 meals for me and my husband. So this cost us $5.61 for 2 meals. So that's what, $2.50, $2.30, $2.80, round up to $3 with some rice. Salad, green beans or something on the side. Quick, easy meal. Come home, you have dinner ready in 20 minutes. It's pretty simple. So we really love these. I will be putting up more of these. What I would do different, I think I told you, I mentioned, no, I don't think I mentioned. I did mention I put more of the McCormick's seasoning in the patties, and maybe add a little bit of Worcestershire sauce. I'm a little afraid. My palate's not as, it's on the simple side, I guess you'd call it. And sometimes I'm afraid of spices. I'm afraid to try them. But I think I would put some Worcestershire sauce in here next time. And see if that would give it a depth of flavor. So yeah, definitely go to great meal here. All right, coming in at number 3 is our turkey base soup. Now this one is, this one is one of the most easiest soups to pull together. Usually right after Thanksgiving, you got extra turkey left over. Usually by day, whatever date is for you. I'm about done with day turkey on day 2. I'm not a big turkey person. Once or twice a year, I'm happy with turkey. My husband loves turkey. So as you can tell, there's not a lot of turkey in here towards the bottom. But this, you have leftover bone, which makes amazing broth. So you just take all the bones, all the trimmings left from the turkey, roast it in the oven to get a good brown on it, and then throw it in your Instapot with some water, and Instapot it for a couple hours, and you have delicious turkey broth. Voila! Turkey broth for your quarts or for your jars. Then you can do a couple things depending on what you have. I usually had some carrots left over, some potatoes, some English peas and corn, and all of these. You could even take a bag of frozen of each or whatever, and just layer it into your jar, or whatever flavors you want. But this is what we did with this. Mainly, our main focus was to use these for like turkey pot pie. So you have all the carrots, corn, peas, potatoes in here. It's easy. The turkey is free because you already bought it. You don't have to buy it for this meal. Any veggies, whatever veggies you have, throw them in here, frozen or fresh. I wouldn't put anything other than frozen or fresh in here because this process is for 90 minutes, so you don't want your cooked vegetables to become more of a mush. So I would recommend frozen corn or peas or both, fresh potatoes and carrots, chopped them up and put them in here. The cost of this is about 75 cents a quart. I mean, and you could make not only turkey soup with this, but you could also split it and make a pot pie the next day. So a lot of variety with this turkey-based soup. Yeah, I don't know if there's anything. Oh, I also had some celery in here and onions. So I don't know what else I would change about this because it's just amazing. Some people like they like the rosemary and thyme and sage with their turkeys. I'm not a big fan. I like to keep it simple. That way I can always add that flavoring afterwards for whatever I'm going to do with this. You can thicken it, pour it over some egg noodles, or rice. My husband's a rice person, so rice, and or just make your own pie crust, or I cheat a lot and buy the pie crust already made. I got to get better about that. But anyway, yes, we love the turkey. This is my last jar on the shelf. So yeah, we need to get us some more making, and I got a long ways to go before Thanksgiving. Fourth on our list is green chili chicken soup base. This, I got this recipe from Red Rose Homestead. I wasn't sure how I would feel about this because I don't even know if I had actually, not that I don't know if I had never bought salsa verde. So I didn't even have it, and I didn't even have to buy it. My sister-in-law gave me a jar of it. So there you go. I didn't have to buy the salsa verde. But if you like a little Southwest flair, this might be good for you. This would be great for white chili base also. So Red Rose Homestead, if you don't know her channel, you can Google it on YouTube. I She's one of my go-to. I've been watching her since she started her channel many years ago. I do love her stuff, and she's, I call her my granny from another mother. She doesn't know that, so if you're watching this, I don't even know her name. I can't remember her name, but anyway, if you're watching this, Red Rose Homestead, I love this. So I just take raw chicken breast, I dice it, about a inch cube. I did my navy bean soak method. Green onions, diced chilies, cilantro, and some garlic. Everything goes raw in the jar, cold and raw, cold jars, cold pack, cold canner, and you process it. Anything with meat in it, you're processing for 90 minutes for a quart and 75 minutes for a pint. So if you don't want to cook yours that long, you might just want to always put yours in a pint jar. So we use this as a soup out of a jar. You can also, you could drain the juice and use the solids to make enchiladas with, tacos. I mean, you can do a lot with this. Like I said, white chili base. And it's flavorful, and it's not very spicy, which is what we like. We don't like a lot of spice. But you can always turn up the heat on this, which is one of the things that I really love about putting up my own food is here's a recipe. USDA gives you a recipe. Here's your recipe. And you can tweak it as long as you're going by their guidelines, not even putting weird stuff in it. When I say weird, I mean dry spices. You can change up the spices. Even if you use fresh chilies or peppers in here, it's going to process for 90 minutes, so you're going to be safe. So when I say weird, it's just you're not processing things that don't adhere to USDA standards. I hope that made sense. But anyway, I think next time what I might do is just put some kernel corn in it, maybe add a little sweetness to it and texture. But this jar cost me, because in this particular batch, so this is a great thing about canning. It's going to vary. Your mileage may vary. In this particular one, I got a rain check on some chicken breast at our local grocery store. We didn't realize it till we got home and looked at the receipt, because I keep my receipts to log into my journal. It was supposed to be $3.39 a pound, and when we got home, they charged us $1.88 a pound. I already got it home, so thank you, Lord, for that blessing. Salsa verde didn't cost me anything. So the chicken, this cost me 75 cents a quart. So again, I just can't express how cheap these meals are when you compare to going to the store and buying stuff. So in most of my cases, when I'm making stuff, a lot of times I'm gifted stuff. I'm gifted vegetables or salsa verde, and so it can help reduce your cost. Alrighty, what are we on? Meal number 5. This is my clam chowder base. Yes, my own clam chowder. We love clam chowder, and you can get it in the cans, and it's, well, depending on the variety or who makes it, it's okay in a pinch. But I love a good clam chowder. When I make it from homemade, I'm frying up some bacon dices, get me a little bit of bacon grease going in there. Got me some butter going on in there, some clam and clam juice and potatoes and onions and what else? Cream. Yeah. And I'd have to go back and look at my recipe. But anyway, clam chowder. Now, seafood is one of those, you got to be careful canning seafood. And you can only can them in pints. You can't go quarts. I don't know why, but I didn't make the rules. This one on a winter evening is so comforting. And this usually just makes me and my husband one meal. And how we did this, this is another recipe I got from Rose Red Homestead, and I did her Clam Chowder Base. This one I just dump in a pot, bring it to a boil, and I add my, of course I've already added my butter to it, it's melted. I add my cream at the end, however much cream you like. And voila, you have out of the jar, basically clam chowder. In here I've got onions and potatoes and what else I have in here? Oh, I have salt pork. I browned my salt pork in here. Let's see, I think that's about it in this particular jar. And it's good. It's better than the cans you buy in the store is better than, what is it, Progresso or something like that. Campbell's or whoever. There's my little piece of bacon. You see a little piece of bacon floating in there? Yeah. Anyway, this is pretty good. So in this case, you have to buy the big 51-ounce jar or cans of clams. You can get them on Amazon. I don't know if you can get them in the store. But when I canned this, the price is kind of, when you think about, oh my gosh. When I bought it, my clam base, I looked on Amazon. You got a 2-pack of 51-ounce cans of clams and juice, clams. Let's see, I got 11 pints of this, so it will make quite a bit. So you get one can and make about 5 or 6 pints. So if you don't want a lot on your shelves, I didn't realize, I don't remember if she told me on the video, but we got quite a bit of these on the shelf. So they cost me $3.28 for this pint, which is about 16 ounces by the time I add cream and butter. It's a hearty meal. I don't know if you can buy a can of clam chowder for that. I did look on Amazon, and now the 2 cans are going. They're actually cheaper. They're $23.64 on Amazon. So you could even get it by cheaper. So there we go on the clam chowder. Meal number 7 is beef stew. It don't get easier than this. Carrots, potatoes, onions, celery, stew beef, raw packed, cold packed, and processed. 90 minutes in a jar. Yeah. Again, you drain the juice off, add your thickener, heat it up. While that's heating up, you can do your mashed potatoes and or your rice or noodles if you want to do noodles on there. A couple dollars for this jar. It's going to depend on how much meat you put in your jar and how much it costs you, but you're looking at $2 or $3 a quart. And maybe you have some carrots and potatoes that are going bad. So, just look around and see what you can do in preserving your food, making it stretch further. So another great hearty meal. You could even make this as a soup, vegetable soup base if you wanted to. Speaking of vegetable soup bases, I'll bring in this little baby. This little baby was an invention of mine. Somebody gifted me a bunch of acorn and butternut squash, and I was like, what am I going to do with that? So I had some carrots. You can see those crinkled cut carrots. I had a bag of those carrots. I had celery. What else I put in here? Some onions, some green onions, and some chicken broth. And I made this vegetable to preserve the butternut squash. I processed it. So you could basically take these two and have a delicious vegetable soup from 2 jars. And this basically didn't cost me anything to make, so free. So another way, when you gifted things, what can I do with it? If you can't think of what to do with it, and it's just you have such high volume, can it? And then you have a unique, or maybe you have a special vegetable medley blend. You know, make sure it's safe. So you wouldn't want to put zucchini, or broccoli. Those things are going to turn to mush. You wouldn't want to put those things and process those. But yeah. Alrighty, where are we on? Number 6, beef stroganoff with mushrooms. This is another quick, easy meal to have on your shelf. You buy the stew beef already cut up, some mushrooms, onions. Voila. This one I put a little bit of onions, garlic, and some beef broth. There's no dairy in this jar. Let's see if I can get up close there. You can see the mushrooms and onions floating through the translucent the broth and the beef. This one, again, we're talking quick, cheap meals. Again, you just I pour some of the broth off to make my cornstarch slurry. Now, if you don't want to use cornstarch, I believe there's arrowroot, xanthan gum. There's some different thickeners out there if you don't want to use the cornstarch. But I make my slurry, start heating this up, pour my slurry in it, and I bring this to a simmer. While this is going, my egg noodles are boiling in water. This is done before my egg noodles are. So once it's done, then all I have to do is add my sour cream, and I have beef stroganoff. Easy meal. This jar cost me, when I put this up, cost me $5.70 a jar. And again, I'm going to get a couple meals out of this jar, so you're talking less than $3 or $3 a meal if you add the egg noodles in. Quick, easy. You got a hot meal when you come home, leftovers for lunch or the next night. So what would I do different with my beef stroganoff? I didn't put any Worcestershire sauce in it, so next time I may try putting a little Worcestershire sauce in it, as it may give it a little depth. I may put that in a couple of jars, see if I like it more. You definitely could add some herbs of your choosing, thyme or rosemary. Maybe a bay leaf. I'm not into the bay leaves at all. So, but yeah, this is what I would do with my beef stroganoff. And another quick meal on your shelves. Since I combined the vegetables with my beef stew, we're going to make this meal number 9. This is Mississippi pot roast in a jar. How many have had Mississippi pot roast? This is a little twist. This is with pork and not beef. You can do it either way. They're both delicious. I put these in pints versus quarts because I like these mainly for sandwiches. These do really good for sandwiches. I drain the juice, put all the solids, including the pepperoncinis, into a pot, a small frying pan. I heat it up. I put this on bread, throw some provolone cheese on it, and you have a delicious sandwich. So I had a bunch of pork tenderloins that I had got on sale. And I'm not a big pork tenderloin kind of a gal, but you can get them pretty cheap. So this helps with that. You could also do chunks of beef stew, cut up your own beef roast or pork roast, and make this with it. So you don't have to use sirloin, but you can use different cuts of meat. I also made this with a homemade ranch seasoning in this because you're not supposed to can with any thickeners like cornstarch and things like that. There's clear gel, I believe is what you can use. But so just find you a ranch seasoning mix and just the herbs from that, and that's what we put in here. Alrighty, number 10. Coming in at number 10 is this little jar of chicken salad. Well, there's not salad, but it's the base for a chicken salad. Another easy, simple meal. These I loved taking to work. Actually, a lot of times I just took it to work. I didn't even mix it. I just ate it out of the jar. Cold packed chicken, celery, onions, a little bit of broth, not much, because your chicken's going to make some juice as it cooks out, so you don't want them overflowing. But I can't eat a can of chicken. I can't open a can of chicken. Once you make this, you won't ever go back. 58 cents for this little jar of chicken salad, I call it. But you can drown it. Drown it. It's already drowned. You can drain it and just put a little bit of mayonnaise, salt and pepper if you want to. You have instant chicken salad. Add olives, green olives. I do that sometimes. Anything you like to add to your chickens. Grapes. Sometimes I like the grape. You know, when you add the grapes and celery to it. The celery and onions in here is seasoning for the chicken. But if you want that crunch from raw celery and grapes, delicious. Or on the savory side, you can do your, we like green olives. You could do just onions or nothing. But yeah, 58 cents a jar. You could probably get it cheaper than that now. I'm not sure, but quick, easy meals. Put them in these pint or half pints. I chose to put them in half pints specifically for lunches. And so you could put them in a quart or a pint, whatever you want to do, how much big your family is or how you like to use it. But yeah, another delicious meal in a jar, chicken salad. All right, thanks for sticking around for the top 10 meals in a jar. And now we're going to talk about our bonus. Our bonus is a little sweet treat, and that is spiced cranberry juice. Oh my Lord. I'm not a big cranberry juice drinker. In fact, I don't like a lot of tart things. But my husband loves cranberry juice. In fact, we need stocking in Ocean Spray. He drinks so much cranberry juice. He has a glass every night. He swears by it for his flow, if you know what I mean. Actually, him and his another family member swear by it. But, you know, we all know that cranberry juice is good for when you have one of those infections down there. So that is a way. And I'm always trying to find a healthier way for him to drink that. So every year you can get him, you know, for 50 cents a bag sometimes at the closeout, fresh or frozen. And I'll usually hopefully hit it at the right time, because you got to hit it at the right time where they're gone, because everybody's waiting for that timing. And I'll either process them or if they're frozen, keep them frozen until I'm ready to process them, and have cranberry juice on the shelf. Now I have a steamer, and I'll link some pictures here of me processing cranberries in my steam cooker. It's great. My husband loves it, but you know, you only get so much cranberries at the end of the season. They're normally like $2.50 a bag, so it's not. I don't know. I like to get things for free or cheap. Anyway, I wanted to try something different. I had seen some, and so I steam juice my cranberries, so I have a concentrated, pasteurized cranberry juice. So I saw some YouTube videos where they would just put the berries in with some sugar and some water and process them. I'm like, I wonder what that would do. If that would, how that would work. Because they have to sit on the shelf and marinate, or, you know, you know what I'm trying to say, don't you? Anyway, so I did that. So instead of having to get my steamer out, just do a couple bags at a time. How does that work out? And then one of the jars, I did a pint size, where I put in a slice of orange. I had orange just sitting on my counter. And I have a bag of cinnamon sticks. I don't know what I was thinking when I bought them. And some cloves, and I processed it, and I let it sit on the shelf. Well, earlier this year, we decided to crack it open and try it. And oh my word, it was more than Christmas in a jar. So I immediately went and got a couple bags out of the freezer, and I put some on the shelf. I did this back in March of this year, and I'm about ready to crack open this jar to see how it's been a little over a month now. So I'm curious how it's going to attack. We have, how many jars do we have? 7. 7 to try. I could do 1 a month and see how good they are each month of, what's the word I want to use for fermenting? They're not even fermenting, but they're just marinating in all this goodness. Also, based on the first batch I did, this called for a quart called for I think it was a half a cup of sugar. I just put a quarter cup of sugar. So you could, the next time I would even put like 1/8 of a cup of sugar, not that much sugar, and or try some monk fruit with it to see how good it tastes. But yeah, this is by far one of my biggest surprise canning experiments I've ever done. So there you have it, 10 meals in a jar and a bonus sweet treat. I hope you found some value and inspiration in this video, and it inspires you to join the land of canning if you're not already canning. And don't forget, leave in the comments what your favorite meals in a jar are, or sweet treats. We're always looking for sweet treats. I put up like peaches and pears and things like that too, but maybe you have a great option. Oh, before I go, I have to share this with you. I got tired of putting up peaches one year. That's a whole nother story. But I was like, I don't want peaches. What can I do with this last batch of peaches I have here? Well, I did a little bit of Google search. You know, Google gives you anything you want. And I ran across a rum recipe. Oh my gosh. I sent my husband to the store to buy a little bit of rum because we don't drink it. Some brown sugar, rum, and peaches. And I cooked them. And then I processed them in a jar. And let me tell you, that was another surprise. I think I got about, I don't know, 4 or 5 jars because I didn't have very many peaches. And I wished I had put up more when I used my last jar. So that was another pleasant surprise on a sweet treat of canning stuff, not to mention some others. That's another, I think I'll do another video on our sweet things that we put up. Anyway, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe for any notifications or of any new videos that we post. And thank you. Thanks for being here today, and I hope to see you on our next video. So remember, plan smart, preserve well. We'll see you next time.